conservation. And there, uh, by that moment, we should aware what kind of availability of energies uh, we are having it now. So, what is the source of energy? What is the current status of the source of energy? And followed by, if you want to become an energy auditor, what are the things you need to do? So these are the four major agenda of this particular presentation. With these few words, I would like to share my screen. Please ensure that you can able to see. Um, Sorry, is it visible, sir? Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Slide number one is
Uh,
yes, sir.
what is mean by energy conservation? So why we need to bother about it? Here, energy conservation is one kind of reducing the consumption of energy by using less often energy services. So the exact meaning of this energy conservation is we need to minimize the energy consumption. So we should not compromise our human comfort. So without switching on, we can able to save the energy. But by the meantime, we need to switch on the uh, we need to assess the energy. By the meantime, we should not waste it. So this is the main objective of energy conservation. We are in a position to consume the energy. By the meantime, without affecting our comfort, we need to always play and in a comfort zone. We need to consume less amount of energy. Slide, you can able to see one person lying on the sofa and sleeping. I hope so. He could not afford for his online quiz. By the end, he tired and what he slept. He is a good energy conserver in my perspective. Why? Because the same person, if he is consuming a ceiling fan, by that time around 80 watt of electricity consumption may take place. Instead of this, the person is taking a ceiling fan. Instead of ceiling fan, he is taking a pedestal fan. By that time, 40 watt of energy is saved. Still, he is in his comfort zone. In the comfort zone, he is saving the energy. At the top, you can able to see one more slide. Here, people are working, and so with proper around 30 lumen light source of energy is available inside the room. If the same people, if they close all the windows by that time to assess their work, definitely they will depend upon one light source. So 30 watt light sources, 30 lumen light sources required. Anyway, the group of people also water conserving the energy. They are deriving the energy from the sunlight. From this particular slide, I would like to stress one particular point here. Energy conservation means we are in a position to consume the energy. By the meantime, we need to take care of your comfort zone. In the comfort zone, we need to play and we need to save the energy. Here, what is the need? Why we need to go for energy conservation? There is a first question will arrive into our mind. Our mind. First and foremost is the peak, especially rise of petrol and diesel prices. Ascended 84.7 and 77 rupees of diesel. That price was not in the earlier 1 year before or 1 decade before. We cannot be able to expect the same we are going to pay for the next month. The petrol and the diesel price hike is keep on what going on. So by that time, why we need to bother? Okay, fine. I can get more money. I will spend. Why I need to bother about it? Uh, I would like to specify with one simple example. Now, you are having a two-wheeler. You have poured only 100 rupees petrol. 100 rupees petrol. What we are thinking that we have utilized that 100 rupees by moving one place to another place. The the physical, what's happening in economic aspect, we have purchased 100 rupees petrol. By the meantime, a good IC engine can able to convert a fruitful work of 30 percentage. 30 percentage of energy only that useful brake power. 30 percentage. The 70 percentage losses already took place, and the remaining 30 percentage of energy that is used for the propulsive action. When the energy transmitted, when the contact between the tire and the earth surface, so there another 40 percentage losses will take place. As a whole, in economic aspect, we are going to spend only 20 rupees. So only 20 rupees petrol is effectively water. 20 rupees money is effectively utilized here. That's why even we are having the purchase power, we should bother about the consumption of the particular fuel, petrol or diesel. And the second point addressed here is the depletion of fossil fuels for countries' population as plus globally. The level of population is keep on increasing. We are the very big energy consumers, and due to that large energy consumption, the automatically raw material, the fossil fuel utilization is what keep on increasing. Due to that increase, what will happen? Definitely depletion of fossil fuel takes place. It's a natural law. Uh, in the later slides, we are going to see what kind of energy sources available with us earlier, how we have utilized for the past 2 to 3 decades. So, what is the current capacity we are having it now? That discussion, and we can able to do it later. The same slide is what included at the end of the session also. There is not by mistake in it, it is included. After uh, listening of 45 minutes lecture, you can able to realize that how these 8 points to be addressed. Uh, what is the significance of these points and all. Okay, fine. The third thing is electricity price rise. Oh, why it is so important? Even this particular state, 100 units of free of electricity, 100 units is what free for all the people of what Tamil Nadu, isn't it? 100 units electricity, we are getting it free. But when what may be the 1 unit of electricity? Uh, we are following certain tariff. So, are you aware about the electricity cost involvement for 500 units of electricity and 501 unit? Instead of 500, if you consume the 1 unit higher, what is the extra amount we need to pay? Now, you just see the calculator, the energy tariff calculator. I hope so you can able to see. So it is a revised one. It is a revised one. One particular family, they have consumed 500 units. For this, they need to pay 1130 rupees. The same family, one particular month, they have consumed 1 unit extra, 501, and what they need to pay 1786.6. Now they are under this category. Now they have reached here. For this, the consumption of 1 unit extra around 386 rupees they need to pay more. So, by the time only what the energy conservation is what is to be addressed here. And then next, screen is visible. And shortage of energy, we sometimes unlimited quantity of quantum of energy we are consuming. So sometimes we are not bothering the particular area, no people are there, but light and fan is what it's running. We are not going to bother. So fan is running, okay, fine, no problem. But the people in our mother earth, around a billion people, exactly We will find the figure later. 1.6 billion people of human beings, they are not having access to have the electricity. They have not seen, they have not having the ability to utilize the electricity. That people are also what living in the earth. Shortage of energy is what, because some wealthy countries they are consuming a lot, and some people countries are what consuming in an average manner, and some people are what not having access. Even India, we can able to say that our India is what 100% electrification we have done. People may want to speak about it. So our country reached 100% electrification. Village electrification is different from what household electrification. In village electrification, uh, some group of people in a village, they are not going to get access to electricity, but their village uh, important places like the schools and what the panchayat office, that particular government sectors have the access to uh, run the electricity. The people in the village, they are not having what the proper permission to access. But by the meantime, we are saying that that village is also what the electrified. Village electrification is different, and then household electrification is different. And then fifth point, global warming. Uh, the the maximum limit of what 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in temperature we have reached, and we are very closer to this, and it is a very alarming signal to us. We need to what bother about that global warming, and due to which the temperature rise, the temperature rise should be addressed, and we need to take some necessary steps. It will create a very big impact upon our the living nature in that particular earth. It will be affected soon. And then next one is what maximize the profit. Now, as a customer end, we need more energy. We want to consume more energy with less payment. So that is the expectation of what human beings. We are, so not only what energy, if we are purchasing any kind of commodities, so at low cost we want to purchase a larger quantity in scale. But here, yes, we can able to consume more energy. By the meantime, we need to conserve the energy also. We need to prompt in the prompt way, we need to utilize that energy, and then minimize energy losses. Why we need to bother about the losses? For example, we are in a position to consume 100 watt of electricity, means the production for the corresponding quantity of energy is 121, 120. uh, why, what is the difference between these two? uh, our Indian government itself declared that we are what having 21 percentage of energy losses. Energy losses definitely what are in the last financial year, it is stated as 21 percentage. 21 percentage is what before reaching the customer itself, it is what vanished, isn't it? So that's why in this particular aspect we need to think about energy conservation. And the next one is the country's economy is depend upon per capita energy consumption. Uh, our country should reach a very higher and higher position, means the per capita energy consumption. Per capita energy consumption means what is the total energy produced by our country divided by that the population. From the independence onwards, if you are seeing the graph, it is keep on increasing, whichever government is what ruling. Now, the increase in per capita consumption takes place. Already took place. Now it is what happening. For this, we need to develop the energy sector. We are in a position to consume more energy. If we are consuming more energy, by that time we need to bother about the conservation also, effectively utilization. That is important. So that's why the meaning of what producing more is what to be fulfilled, isn't it? So these are all the 8 points to be addressed. By that time only, the people of India can able to understand why the energy conservation is what they need for our country. Isn't it? Now, you please interact with me. I'm very happy in the fine Sunday evening. Around 70 plus people are what gathered here to listen about what to get some sort of information from energy side. Now, I'm expecting some sort of interaction through questionnaire. I want to see your level of participation. Now, I would like to throw some questions in. So, no need to unmute and then answer. You just immediately move on to the chat box and then answer to me. I want to get some sort of what interactions through chat box. And you just, sometimes you need to throw some value, sometimes you need to think and answer. Here, my first question is before going to touch the third agenda of this program, you try to answer. Now you assume in a small house, around 5 persons are what available. In that house, they are having air conditioner, water heater, and other accessories, electrical accessories. They are having it. That particular family per day, if they are using all kind of electrical equipment, what may be the number of units they will consume for each day? What is the rough value? I'm not asking. It is not. It is an open-ended question. So you can able to throw something. My question is that what would be the electrical energy requirement for that particular family per day? If they are having what 5 persons with the AC, water heater, and washing machine. This is my question, and can able to say some numbers. How much units they will consume? How much units they will consume? You just move on to the chat box and throw some value. How much units they will consume? A small family with 5 persons. They are having air conditioner. They are having water heater. How much units they will consume per day? Say some number. How much units in terms of fives, tens, twenties, like this. I'm expecting some answer from you. Move on to the chat box. Uh, Many people are responding to this. Yes, Dinagaran answered. Any other? Any other from me?
Your answer may be right or wrong. That's not an issue, pa.
Yeah, you
Please
simply
interact.
throw some value. That's why I suggested that it is an open-ended question.
Your participation is very very essential. Okay, so as a human, நீங்க எவ்வளவு ஒரு வீட்ல செலவழிக்கிறீங்க அந்த மாதிரி இமேஜின் பண்ணி போடுங்க. அதான் சார் கேக்குறாங்க. குவிக் குவிக் குவிக்.
Okay, fine. So anyway, I thank Dinakaran. I expect the participants you try to interact with me in forthcoming questions also, and other questions also. His expectation is prediction is correct. Huh? In terms of what 10 units. 10 units is what approximate. So you can able to try. By that time you can realize that 10 units is what required. Now this is for a small family. For example, so if we the one particular state, let us take our Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, for one particular year, okay, so one particular day we will expect what more amount of electricity, especially in the summer. So what may be the demand of what electricity for a state like Tamil Nadu? So in what may be the electricity demand? Can you able to guess and throw some value? So some people, okay, very good. Santosh, uh, Harshan, Dinagaran and all tried. Likewise, can you able to guess answer for this question? What is the electricity demand of our state? Uh, any rough value in terms of megawatt? You people from mechanical, electrical, everybody you know 1 megawatt that is 10 power 6 watt, isn't it? Uh, how much megawatt is required? It's demanded. How much? Can you able to
சார்
guess that value?
per day
In
or
terms,
per month சார்?
sorry, in terms of megawatt, you try say some value. What is the electricity demand for our state? Okay, good. Well and good. Well and good. Then. Okay, good, good, good. So 15,000, 60,000. There is exactly correct. Huh? So 13,500 megawatt to 14,500 megawatt. Okay, that is the rough value. So in addition to that, The recorded peak in demand for Tamil Nadu in the past history, if you are looking upon it, around 16,151 megawatt. It was recorded on 5th April 2019, and the same year, 1 month before, 15,847 megawatt is the peak demand from Tamil Nadu. 13th March 2019, that was happened. So now we are thinking about a small family, about a small state. Is it possible to guess a particular country consists of 28 states and 8 union territories? That the country demand. Now can able to guess for our nation? Can able to guess for our country? What is the electricity demand for our huge electricity, peak electricity demand for our country? Very good. You are observing. So for the past questions, your prediction is perfect. And in the same aspect, is it possible for you to guess for our country? Throw some answer. One or two. You multiply. Now you have guessed something good. Correct. 15,000 megawatt. The same way? I don't know. Okay, good, 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 good. Hmm. So some people converted into gigawatt and stated very good, Dinagaran Tilakanda. It is around 180 gigawatt. That is roughly 1,80,000 megawatt of electricity is demanded for one time for our country. Hmm? That's all. Okay, good. Now these are the sources are available and it is quoted at the bottom of the slide. These are all the five uh, prime energy sources. It only drives our world. Oil, coal, and natural gas. In the renewable, wind, solar, and tidal, everything is what clubbed and considered as simply a renewable energy. And the next one is what nuclear. Let us see one by one. Now, the first one is coal. Uh, Around 60 to 75 percentage globally, the power plant operated by coal-based thermal power plant, that available in India itself. Around more than 70 percentage of electricity we are depending upon coal. Uh, the proven coal reserve of the world. This data is taken from BP Statistical Report 2020. It is updated one. The proven record in the year of 2019, it is around 10 lakh 69 million tons. 10 lakh 69 million tons. If you are looking upon the previous year record, it is 10 lakh 54 million. By this time, we should not think we are getting what another uh, additional amount of or million tons of coal is what we have observed. The year by year, the consumption rate is what keep on increasing, tremendously increasing. So this 60 lakh, 10 lakh 69,000 and all what it is not sufficient for us. It is only for valuable for another of 130 years. So 130 years only what they can able to make use of this energy. Other apart later we cannot able to see the coal. Here the contributors are United States, Russia and Australia. So they are lying at the top. If you are seeing globally, 23.3 percentage total reserve is available with the USA. So in India, so we are having only 9.9 percentage of this total reserve. This 9.9 percentage total reserve we are having in Indian coal. Indian coal, the drawbacks of Indian coal is it consists of moisture. Our Indian power sectors, we are depending upon coal from Indonesia and Australia. So if you are having a possibility of visiting our any kind of thermal power plant situated in India, by the time you can able to observe one thing. Indian coal is what mixed with Indonesian coal and it is used. And compared to the previous record, like 2009, it is only 9 lakh 28 million tons only available. Now, the increasing number is what we are in a position to explore more because we are the consumer, energy consumer. We need more amount of energy. That's why what exploration is what takes place. Yeah, due to the exploration only, we have observed that at the end of 2019, we are having 10 lakh 69,000 million tons is available. By this potential, we can able to see the coal for another 132 years. Especially for India, we are having the scope to see another 120 years. That's all. So now the Indonesia is what now they are keep on improving and they reached that fifth largest position, especially in the year of 2018 and 19. And if you are seeing this particular chart, you can able to observe. So on the continent wise, the coal distribution, the proven coal distribution. So this particular round wheels, what it try to say that now between the year of 1909 and 2009, now you just see the figure are 10 lakh to 9 lakh million ton. Now here only what we realized that the coal exploration is what is needed. Coal exploration started in the particular year, and thereafter from 2009 to 2019, so we have observed, and now it is around 10 lakh 69,000 million tons of coal is available. So now, due to the exploration, only water we can able to come to this figure. So this much is available with us. This is only the rough input availability of the coal. Now the next slide, in the next slide, now we can able to realize it. This 10 lakh 69 million tons and all, it doesn't matter. So it is also going to be consumed in a faster way. In the particular graph, you just consider the CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States, including Russia, countries are what involved here. That color is what represented as the purple color. The purple color represents CAS. You take one sample. Now you just see how to read this particular chart. Okay, sir, you are showing some graph. What it try to express? Now you just see the right hand side. You are having 800, 700, 600, and all. It represents the years, and in the y-axis it represents the 1999 and then 2004, 2009, and here the corresponding year. In the year of 2019, from CIS, they are having the coal source of around what 725 years. The CIS thought that another 725 years we are having sufficient coal. 725. The same prediction. Okay, now in the year of 2019, in the 2019, the CIS now with their availability, so they are expecting 325 years, another 325 to 350 years. The potential is what only 325 years. Here around 725 years. Here only 325 years. From this, the inferences are within this period of 30. Within the 30 years, they have consumed 400 years of available coal. 400 years of available coal, matter of 30 years they have consumed. Now you just see the figure that 10 lakh 69 million and all, whether it is going to sustain for quite long time, absolutely not. This 400 years of coal is what consumed within 30 years. 30 years we have consumed this coal, especially that the CIS. Likewise, what continent wise, the graphs are plotted. So from this only, our observation is India, we can able to have another 120 years, and worldwise we can able to expect another 132 years coal availability is there. And in this particular chart, the coal production, how to read the particular graph, how to read. Left hand side, million ton of oil equivalent is available. Uh, that is represented. This bar chart value and all represented in the left hand side y axis, and this curve values and all represented in the right hand side. Right hand side curve values are available. Now you just see that contribution of various countries, United States and then Russia, India. It is what quoted here. From this, observation is coal producers and coal consumers. Who are all the largest coal producers? We are all the largest coal consumers. What about India's position? India's position is lying third. Well, recently, Indonesia is developing and it try to reach its what fifth place in the global market. Now, coal producers are who are all the largest coal producers? We are the largest coal consumers. Now, this is the region-wise coal production and consumption chart. Here, Asia represented as yellow. That they are the largest coal producers and they are only the largest consumer. The similar trend we cannot be able to expect for other fuels. Now, afterwards, coal. Afterwards, we are going to see uh, oil. The oil trend is what the region-wise. It is not going to follow the similar way. Now, this particular chart, it is represented in terms of 1 exajoule. What is meant by 1 exajoule? 1 exajoule represents around 2.39 into 10 power 7 of tonnage of oil equivalent. 1 exajoule is equal to what? So, this much ton of oil equivalent for your understanding. And here, the next fuel is oil. First of all, we should know three things. One is why all oil trading takes place in United USD. So, what is the position of our money value compared to USD? Why it is what lower? Uh, if you are getting some idea about these things, now we are purchasing, trading all the commodities with respect to USD, United States dollar. Here, the availability of USD is what, so it should be at the higher side. So then, because trading is takes place, everything takes place in terms of what USD. Our money value, why it is so less? Now we are the person going to purchase from other countries. For by that time, our Indian money is what not worthy to purchase. So here we are depending upon what another one money, there is USD. Here trading is takes place in USD. That's why in addition to that, the availability of USD with us, it it directly proportional to our money value. So we are having our money value is less. Why? Now you just see the note point number 4. Every day we are purchasing a 51 lakh 23,000 barrels. 51 lakh 23,000 barrels what we are purchasing it. If you are doing a rough calculation, you can able to understand that 1,500 crore of Indian rupees required. 1,500 Indian crore. So our state budget is what it represents. Tamil Nadu state budget 2021 is 3 lakh 39 thousand crore. 3 lakh 39,000 crore. Now you just see India is what paying 1,500 crore per day. So it's a proposed budget is 3 lakh 39 and expected money is what only 2 lakh 25,000. 2 lakh 25 to 2 lakh 40,000 crore only we are what expecting the fund flow. The remaining and all what deficiency. It was here the purchase is what deals with the USD and we need to what have that particular currency. Then only what we can able to what purchase it easily. For example, the recently how the Iran was being affected because they come forward to sell the fuel with our Indian currency. So if we can able to pay our Indian currency and we can able to what, purchase the oil. So that was the deal. They come forward due to which they have struggled a lot. So globally, what their economy gets affected and they are forced to what the consumption from the particular country is what they started to what to reduce it. So 28.4 percentage of what production is what they are in a position to forced to stop their production because they need to sell. So we are purchasing only from what Saudi Arabia. We are not. We come forward and due to some threat, we are not in a position to what to carry forward. We are purchasing still from Saudi Arabia with the United States, the USD only. We are the globally. So this is the availability one lakh sorry, 1,733.9 billion barrels is what available. Here, the share is from Venezuela and Saudi Arabia is around 17 percentage. Our capacity is only 0.3%. So, in the global uh, quantity, they are having it 0.3 percentage. Here, this particular distribution. So now the wheats are what bigger and bigger. Okay, it's a good sign or bad sign. So now at time being, so from 2009 to 2019, 1,733 billion, 1,000 billion barrels are what the capacity oil is what crude. It is available. By the meantime, uh, this is also another 50 years, another 20 years for our country, 10 years only what it is quite possible to consume. And because of its faster consumption rate, faster consumption rate only what it's a threat. Now, that will be what shown in the next slide. Here, Middle East. The Middle East is what they are the largest producers. If you are seeing that the Middle East contribution, so in the year of 89 itself, for another 110 years, they are having uh, their source their source of oil is another 115 years. The same is the Middle East is in the year of 2019, see here only 75 for another 75, 60 to 80, 75 years only what they are having it. Depletion of water. The faster fuel is takes place. Within this 40 years, the level of water, oil usage is this much is what we have already consumed. And here, oil production rate only one important point. So here, before United States thought that they are not in a position to what use their resources, they are depending upon others, and they have produced less oil for their consumption. And later, in the year of 1718, they realized all the countries are what moving towards what the electric vehicles. So by that time, the to preserve the such kind of oil is not so helpful for farmer. That's why they are also what started to consume and produce more. So their production rate, especially you just target the US, it is marked in blue color. See here, more than what Saudi Arabia now they are what largest oil producer in the world. And why? What is the need of such kind of energy? So they are what start to consume more. In the bottom of the graph also you can able to see oil consume level is what keep on is what increasing by the country. And now you go back and you think about that oil coal production and the distribution chart. A similar trend was observed, but here oil production rate is what quite contradictory. Especially Asia Pacific is what smaller producers, but they are consuming a lot in here. Consumption is what a lot. The same way it is followed for our CAS or other region wise also. It is not so directly proportional. These Middle East were producing a lot, but their consumption is not very low. And the next fuel is the natural gas. Uh, the move towards the natural gas is what we are bothering about environment, and pollutant from the natural gas is quite lower than that of coal and the oil. That's why we are moving towards natural gas. Its availability is only 198.8 trillion cubic meter. This is the proven value taken from a BP statistical report. Our contribution is only zero point 0.3. So 0.7 percentage of this global reserve only available with us. So first and foremost, it is available with Russia. Russia having around 19%, 19.1 percentage of total share is available with Russia. In India, we are not having that much of source of energy. We are expecting another 20 years we can able to make use of this natural gas for another 20 years. World wise, around 50 years we can able to expect. And here, the distribution is water. Here we started to switch over for the alternative energy. By that time only the exploration takes place, especially in the particular era. 2009 only water So the exploration for various fuels takes place. And now this is the current position. And here see that huge depletion of particular natural gas takes place in the Middle East. 400 years in the year of 1989, they thought that another 400 years we are having what natural gas. But in the year of 2019, only for another next 100 years is only available. So it is the correlation. 300 years utilization is takes place within this 40 years. 40 years they have consumed 300 years natural gas. Here, Russia having the potential, but the climatic is not supportive. In the Russia, especially in the cold region only, the availability of natural gas is available. Like here, the extraction is what very difficult. By the meantime, the contribution of United States is what keep on increasing year by year, and they are the largest consumer also, so natural gas consumer. And here it's a look like a similar trend like coal region wise, because we cannot be able to transport it. That is the difficulty. So even some countries are willing to transport the natural gas to our country, but due to that political issues, and then what, so it needs to cross the boundary of our neighboring country, Pakistan. That's why, so it is what not so feasible for us. And nuclear energy. So here, large capacity of energy demand is what needed for this. The next choice is what nuclear energy, especially from the coal-based power plant, tonnage of emission takes place that should be compensated with another one format of energy that is called nuclear energy. Here, nuclear energy production is we cannot able to say. Nuclear energy utilization only what we can able to what observe. uh, Especially United States, the contribution is 30 percentage, followed by France, China, and Russia. India it has only 1.6 percentage. So this is the third or fourth energy producing what the electricity for our nation. Its position is fourth. Here, around 1.6 percentage global of nuclear energy consumption takes place in India. Now you just see here the contribution of South Korea. South Korea is keep on increasing and reaching the level of fifth position here. Uh, the safety measure is so much important here. The as you heard about that major accident takes place around 9 years before in the Fukushima. The Japan is what a very good handler of nuclear energy, but when they are facing a problem like this, a huge hit by that Fukushima accident, they have not stopped that nuclear energy completely. Still, some of the vibrant nuclear power plant is what working, and they are producing the electricity. And here, the nuclear can able to see and judge the component name. So here one is what collapsing and falling down. Can you able to guess what kind of device is what collapsed, or what it is demolished? Can you able to guess the name of the component? You just move on to the chat box. You say something about the component. What kind of component is falling down? Get some idea quickly. Please, quickly. What kind of component? No idea. What kind of component is falling down? Okay, very good. Coming children, good. Cooling tower. So it was takes place 14th May 2020. In Germany demolished their cooling tower in Philips at the nuclear power plant. Because they are what once upon a time they are the largest utilizer of nuclear energy, and they are shutdowning their nuclear power plant. They are switching over to renewable energy. So this is the region-wise energy consumption. Okay, with these few words, I just stop here, and then I welcome the second co-presenter. Sir, kindly share your screen and please complete. so I have took some extra time. Sorry for that. I will please speak.
Yes, thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. Please proceed.
Yeah, I'll just start sharing my presentation. So hopefully, dear participant, hopefully you all have understood what is the scenario of energy that is related to the conventional sources. So Sam have given a lot of information and the trending of these energies, that is the conventional source of energy. So we think that the available source of energy will exist for next 120 years or 60 years or 80 years or 100 years or something. But the real fact is that it is not so, because we are in a complete threat, because we have understood before 30 years it was expected that the availability of coal will be it will be available for next to 400 years. But think within this 30 years of span we have consumed almost 300 years of coal. So think it is a big threat. So this is the right time. We have to think and we have to conserve energy, and at the parallelly we have to switch over to an alternate source of energy, right? So that is where this renewable energy is going to play a vital role. So we have understood what is the energy scenario, what are all the top countries, how the countries are consuming the other conventional sources. So it is the right time for us, or it is an alarm for us. We have to switch over to renewable sources of energy. Now we have to understand what is the contribution of renewable sources of energy by all countries as well as by India. So with this better understanding, we can get a deep knowledge. So what is the role of every engineers like us? What is the thing we have to do, or what is the contribution that we have to do for our country from our side? So we just look into the scenario of renewable sources of energy. So this is the renewable source of energy as on 2019. The total energy consumption by means of renewable energy, as Sad mentioned, it includes all forms of renewable energy, including solar, wind, that is a hydel energy, including biomass. All these other non-conventional sources will come under this renewable sources of energy. So the total consumption it is around 692.17 million ton of oil equivalent, and where the competitor whom we are thinking as a competitor, they are leading in this. China is at the top with almost 23% of total share in the consumption. And if you look at India, we are at the 5th spot, but still the percentage of consumption is just 4.2%. And you can see how drastically China have invested, or they have switched over to this renewable source of energy. You can look at the note in 2008, India and China consumed 5.4 million ton of oil equivalent of renewable energy and 6.4 MTOE respectively. Now think what the stats of the China, we'll see in the next slide. You can look here. So the graph with red color, it is representing China, and on the graph with almost this a light blue color, it is representing India. You can see here 2008, both the countries have started with almost same amount of consumption. But look the graph, how it is getting increased for China. It is drastically increasing. In the year 2018, look where China is there and where India is there. So India is also improving the consumption of renewable energy, but we are improving at a very slow pace, Look at the contribution of China. They have increased a lot. But the only good sign for India is that in the year 2017 to 18, the consumption rate have increased by 27 and 29% for India and China, which means that we are almost competing with China in yearly installation or yearly consumption. So this is a good sign for India, but still we have to go a lot. We think China is our competitor, and even you can see a lot of scenarios happening in the world, and the most talkable thing that is happening in the world is a thing between India and China, right? Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you. So this is the trend of the renewable energy consumption based on the geographical location. So you can see almost the Middle East countries, the European countries and the American countries have consumed a lot, and the contribution of Asia Pacific is also drastically increasing, and it is by the major contributor of this consumption is China. So followed by India. So India is the 5th largest consumer of renewable energy sources in the world. So now look, we have understood what is the energy scenario of all conventional source of energy and what is the energy scenario of the renewable source of energy, that is the unconventional source of energy. Now we have to understand what is happening across the world. So this is the stats which we have took from the World Energy Outlook report. So it is reporting that 16% of world population is consuming around 50% of total available energy. Think, so if you are going to consider India, the per day energy requirement is around 1.6 lakh megawatt. Think, if the world requirement is around 10 lakh megawatt, and I'm sorry, 10 lakh megawatt in the sense means just a rough scale. If it is going to be 10 lakh megawatt means just 16% of world population, it is consuming around 5 lakh megawatt of electricity. So what about the remaining 84? The remaining 84 is sharing the other 50%. See how this energy consumption is getting deviated between the diversity of population. And the report also adds that 1.6 billion people doesn't have access to electricity. They are not even having access to electricity. Think, if I'm not having electricity for 1 or 2 hours, how we'll be feeling? But think, these 1.6 billion people of people in the world, they are having no access to electricity, not even a single day, not even a hour. They are just utilizing the natural light, right? So, and it is also being said that the shortage of energy resources is playing a vital role, and the energy availability or the sources of energy availability, so it is also drastically decreasing. So this is the problem that has been happening in this world. So this is what the stats says, and what is the inference that we have got from the stats itself. So the energy requirement of world, the entire world energy requirement per day is around 15 billion ton of oil equivalent, and the population of the world is 7.5 billion as on 2019. So as on 2019, it is 7.5 billion. Now the 50% of the electricity, it has been consumed only by 1.2 billion people among the 7.5 billion, and remaining 50% is being shared by 4.7 billion people, and 1.6 billion people in this world is not having any electricity. So this is the actual fact of this world. So we have to conserve energy, and we are blessed with energy. And as Sir said earlier, so it has been reported in the budget 2019-2020 of Government of India, almost 100% of the villages or 100% of the places in India, it has been electrified. Okay, so we are blessed with electricity, and we have to utilize it in a proper way. Now, this graph shows or this map shows how the electricity consumption it is being distributed among the world. So you can see India. So this report is as on 2017. So this report says that almost 95% of the people in India are having access to electricity. This is as on 2017. And as I said earlier, the Government of India have reported that by the year 2019-2020 budget, all the villages in India are having access to electricity, right? Now we look into the scenario of India. So how our country is switching over towards renewable energy. So this is the stats which we have took from the Mercom India research. And by the year 2019, 31st of December, you can see what is the distribution of energy sources of India. So almost 36% of the electricity or the energy sources that is being installed in India is contributed from renewable energy. So now we have just a small glance how our country have improved. So this is the stats as on 31st January 2016. So including this renewable energy in the Hydel, the total contribution is 30% by the year 2016, 31st of January. So within 3 years, we have improved by 6%. And the major thing what we have to look over here is that the contribution of coal. So in the year 2016, it was around 60%. And by the year 2019, it has been around 53%, which means we have already almost we have reduced the installation of coal power plant, and the contribution from the conventional thermal power plant have reduced to 6%. So it is a good sign, but still we have to contribute a lot, because we are having we doesn't have any ample time. So it is a short span of time. We have to work forward, and we have to be more active, and we have to install more amount of that is a renewable source of energy. And this stat shows how the Indian government have installed the electricity for each year. So the stat shows the contribution or the installation of electricity for the year 2016, 17 and 18. Just a small comparison. In the year 2016, among the total installed capacity, 54 was from coal and 42% was from the renewable sector. And among those 42%, 15 is from wind and 16 is from solar. And in the year 2017, it is completely changed. Among the total installation, 21% is alone from thermal power plants, and 66 is from the renewable source of energy. And in the year 2018, the contribution have further declined. It is 25%, and the contribution of this renewable sector have improved to 74%. So it is a good sign for our country. So why this thermal power plant installation is drastically decreasing in the sense means Indian government have taken a policy that is still in the forthcoming years there won't be any commissioning of new thermal power plants. So we won't be having any commissioning of new thermal power plants. So that is why the contribution of coal percentage is drastically increasing. So now we have to understand what is the contribution of every Indian. So we Indian, on an average, we are consuming 1181 kilowatt hour of electricity every year, which is nothing but 1181 units of electricity every Indian is consuming on an average per year. So why I'm addressing here is that you can see how it is increased within a decade. So 2010 it was just 754, and in 2019 it is 1181. So almost we have increased our consumption nearly 500 kilowatt hour. That is 5 units. Every average Indian is increasing their electricity consumption by 5 units. And parallelly, in the year 2011, our population was 121 crores, and in the year 2020 it is 138 crores. So parallelly, the population is also increasing. At the same time, the per capita energy consumption is also increasing. So what this graph is indicating is that the population is also increasing. Parallelly, the electricity consumed by every Indian is also drastically increasing. So we have to find some alternate source of energy. So this is the distribution of electricity in India among these 4 major power plants. So thermal power plant, hydel, renewable and nuclear power plants. So you can see the contribution of these 2 renewable sources of energy. So approximately 1.3 lakh megawatt of electricity generation. It is being that is the capacity of electricity is being installed in India. So, and this stats was taken from Tamil Nadu Energy Development Agency, and the stats is as on 31st January 2020. So this graph shows how the installation capacity of India is being increasing for the wind energy. So by the year 2004, it was here around 2,500 megawatt, and in the year you can see 2017, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, it have drastically decreased, because in wind energy installation, our country have almost reached a saturation level in offshore installation. Okay, in offshore installation. So this is the contribution of wind energy as on 2019-2020. So almost 40,000 megawatt of electricity in India, it is being installed through wind energy. And what about the contribution of solar? So we have drastically increased, and this stat shows for the past 3 years, and they have divided into quarterly. So you can see a big dip in the second quarter of 2020, that is from April to July. The reason is that because of lockdown. So this COVID-19 lockdown, the installation have drastically decreased, and now the government of India have further they have waked up, and they are drastically increasing the installation capacity. Now we have understood what is the scenario, what is the renewable sector contribution for the entire energy consumption. Now we have to think, why should we go for this renewable sector? What is the reason for this? So we have to understand almost 60% of electricity being consumed in India, it is contributed from thermal power plant. So what is the thermal power plant impact on environment? We have to understand this. So you can see 1000 megawatt capacity of thermal power plant, what is the input trigger and what is the output that is being emitting. So per day we have to give an input of 12,000 tons of coal along with 101 meter cube of oil and 98,000 meter cube per day for water. So we know that 1 meter cube of water is equal to 1000 liters. So if I'm filling my overhead tank with 1000 liters of water, my family can use that amount of water for 3 days. Now think every thermal power plant having a capacity of 1000 megawatt, they are consuming 98,000 meter cube of water per day. So think how much of water is being consumed by every thermal power plants. So for 1000, if it is going to be this much of input, the installed capacity as on 31st of January in India is 230,000 megawatt. So think how much amount of input we have to give. And parallelly, what is the environmental impact? Every thermal power plant of capacity 10, that is 1000 megawatt, they are emitting 30,000 tons of CO2 per day along with 680 tons of SOx and NOx. Now think the contribution of this 230,000 megawatt power plant. So that is the installed capacity in India. So we are polluting this environment a lot. So it is a big alarm condition. We have to switch to renewable source of energy. So that is why we have to switch over to renewable source of energy and we have to utilize the available energy in an effective way. So this is what addressed in the beginning of this presentation. So the petrol and diesel price hike is there, the fossil fuel is depleting, which we have seen in the previous presentation. Electricity price is also increasing, shortage of energy. We have seen 1.6 billion people are not having access to electricity, followed by global warming to increase the profit, to minimize energy loss and to compete with the global market. So that is the need for energy conservation. So we have understood what is the energy scenario, why we should switch for renewable energy and why should we go for energy conservation. Now we'll see what is the contribution of an institution and by every individual. Now we look into the contribution of RIT. So what our institute have done towards this contribution of energy conservation. So we have installed 30 kVA rooftop solar power plant in our institute, which contributes almost 5% of our electricity consumption. And we have installed a solid waste management plant along with automated lights on and off system, which you can see in bathrooms. And water sensors is also been started to installation in our institute. And we are creating awareness among the students what we are doing in this present webinar. And the wastewater recycling plant capacity is around 1 lakh liter per day. And the water that is being consumed in our hostel and in our academic premises, it is being recycled and it is being used for plantation. So these are all some small initiatives at RIT. And apart from that, we in Department of Mechanical Engineering, we have inaugurated the solar energy laboratory, which is apart from the academics. And you can see what are all the applications here is that all the solar thermal applications. So you can access to this laboratory at any time. You can contact either me or Sivakumar sir. So you can have a look on this solar energy laboratory. And through this laboratory also we are organizing there is a more number of programs and we are inculcating interest among the students to work towards this renewable source of energy. Now, what is the role of every individual? What we have to do? The time is almost 6:12. I'll just take next 5 more minutes. I'll conclude the session. So what is the role of individual? We have seen what is the contribution of an institution. Now we are going to understand what an individual is going to do. So we have to keep our refrigerator at a capacity of 50% or more, because probably you'll be knowing if I'm going to ride a car, I have to fill the car with almost the maximum capacity. So if not, it will be creating a problem. In a similar way, we have to load the capacity of refrigerator at 50% or more. So that's why if I'm going to do it, means I can effectively use the refrigerator which is being consuming the electricity. And second one is we have to run our air conditioner at 25 degrees Celsius. If you are going for 18 degrees Celsius or 19 degrees Celsius, it will be consuming more amount of electricity. And the next one is we have to properly report this water leaks, running toilets or dripping sinks. And we have to report immediately the malfunctioning equipments, because if a tap is dropping a single drop of water every day means, so it is leading to almost 500 liters of water loss per month. So think 500 liters of water is approximately the amount of water it is being used by a family of 4 or 5 members per day. So every month we are wasting around 1 day capacity of water. So we have to report it properly. So we have to turn off all the unused appliances. All these steps we will be knowing. One additional thing what I'm going to tell here through this presentation is that whenever you are going to purchase any high electricity consuming equipments, you just have a glance on this star rating. So maximum the star rating, minimum the electricity consumption. So in every appliances like AC, refrigerator, television, all major electricity consuming appliances, you can see this star rating. So if you are going to buy any new electrical appliance, just have a look on this star rating. Maximum the star rating, minimum will be the electricity consumption. And also you have to know what is the amount of electricity that is being consumed. So at this point, you can see what is the amount of electricity that is being consumed by this appliance. So you have to think about it, and you have to purchase whenever you are going to purchase a new electrical appliance. And just a small message for you guys. So you have seen an awareness on this energy conservation. Now, what is the scope of employability in this energy conservation sector? So the government of India have established an autonomous body which is functioning under the Ministry of Power, which is now called as Bureau of Energy Efficiency. It has been established in the year 2001. So this autonomous body is conducting an examination for energy manager and energy auditor every year. So if you're going to appear for this exam, and if you're going to clear this exam, you can be a central government certified energy manager or energy auditor. So why I'm telling this is that in the past 5 years, the demand for energy managers and energy auditors in the industrial sector have drastically increased. So that is why the government of India is conducting this exam every year. Okay, so now we look what is the eligibility criteria for appearing for this exam. So this is the eligibility criteria. You can see you can appear for this energy manager and the energy auditor exam. So what is the basic eligibility criteria is that after completion of your Bachelor of Engineering, that is completion of your BE degree, you must have a 3 years of work experience in an industry. So that must be either in the sector of operation, maintenance, planning, or anything related to manufacturing sector. Okay, so you after completion of your degree, you must have a 3 years of experience in these 3 sectors. Then you are eligible for appearing for this exam. If you are going to do your masters, that is after completion of BE, if you are going to continue with your ME, after completion of ME, you must have a 2 years of experience. So this is the basic level of criteria that is required for appearing for this examination. So now, what are all the things that you are going to face in this exam is that you will be having 4 papers. So these are the list of papers, and the duration is being represented here. So every year, if I'm right, by the month of October, they'll be conducting this exam, and I'm not sure about this year's exam because due to lockdown, they haven't planned for this exam yet. So next year, probably I'll just give an information. So you can have a follow-up that after completion of 3 years of working experience, you can appear for this exam. Every year, October month, they are calling for this examination. So you have to appear for all these 4 papers if you are going to apply for energy auditor. And if you are going to appear for energy manager, you can just appear for the first 3 papers. And what is the criteria for getting passed in this exam is that in all the 4 papers, you have to score a minimum of 50%. In all the 4 papers, minimum of 50%, then you will be called as a certified energy auditor. And for energy manager, you have to score a minimum of 50% in all the 3 exams. Then you will be called as a certified energy manager. Now, what is the fee structure for appearing for this exam is that for general candidates, the application fee is 500 rupees, and the people, those who are belonging to scheduled caste, it is 250 rupees. Okay, and the certification fee. So after applying, we are appearing for exam, and after clearing, we have to go for the certification, and the certification fee is rupees 10,000. You don't think that 10,000 is a huge amount. How I'm going to afford? Think if you are going to be a certified energy manager or energy auditor, if an industry is going to call you for this energy auditing, means for 2 hours or for 3 hours, the industry is ready to pay you around 5,000 to 10,000 rupees just to 2 to 3 hours. Every industry, they are ready to pay you. And if you are going to spend almost your 2 or 3 days of time for that industry, means they are ready to pay around 50,000 rupees. Just 2 to 3 days, you can earn 50,000 rupees. So that is the big impact of this examination. And becoming an energy auditor, you need not to be an employee of that organization. So I think you all be aware about this. That is chartered accountants. So auditors, all the auditors, they'll be self-employed. So they'll be getting connected with almost 50 to 100 companies, and they'll be doing that financial audit for all those companies on a paid basis. In a similar way, you can have your own career. And parallelly, if you have cleared this energy auditor exam, you can be a certified energy auditor. And whenever an industry is in need of an energy auditor, you can go for it. So you can go and audit it for 2 or 3 days, and based on the requirement of that industry. And then they'll be paying you an amount. On a paid basis, you can do energy auditing. So this is an additional job opportunity for your career. So it will be an added advantage. So this is the fee structure. And what if I'm going to appear for 4 exams and I have passed in 3 and I have failed in 1? So it is almost same as like our BE structure. I have cleared 3 papers. I'm having 1 paper arrear. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reappear for the second attempt. In a similar way, you will be called as a supplementary candidate. So if I have cleared paper 1, 2, 3, I can go for paper 4 alone in the next year. So at that time, I have to pay 1,500 rupees additional, and no need of this application fee. So thus I have to pay the examination fee. So this is the simple structure or a precise way of this eligibility criteria for a certified energy manager and auditor. And we'll be sharing the same with you all. So with this note, I would like to conclude this session. So switch off all the electrical appliances when it is not in use, and let us save this energy. So let us save today and we'll survive tomorrow. And these are all the references. All those stats were taken from these 2 documents. One is Energy Statistics 2020, which is an official energy report that has been released by the Ministry of Statistics and the Program Implementation, Government of India. And the second one is the World Energy Scenario. It has been taken from the BP Statistical Report. So with this few note, I would like to conclude. Thank you all. Over to Chockalingam, sir. Chockalingam, sir. Yes, thank you. Thank you all, guys, for sparing your time, your valuable time, even in this weekend. Hopefully you would have found this session a fruitful one, and try to spread this same message of energy conservation to all the remaining. And I would like to conclude. Sivakumar sir, shall we conclude?
Okay, okay, fine, sir. Thank you, dear students. I really happy about it, because I expected very less number of students, but the people who are interested and want to know something about energy conservation is a good sign for our country. I'm very happy. I thank Rinkumar sir, and then the people who are the backbone for this particular event. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your participation.
Yes, Kavin, go ahead. Go ahead. If you have any clarification.
Sir, I have to convey the vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, proceed.
Shall I proceed, sir?
Yes. Go ahead.
Good evening to one and all present here. Thank you, Sivakumar sir and Arun Kumar sir, for this wonderful session. Couldn't find words to express my gratitude, and never expected this immense support and response from everyone. So thank you all for taking part in the webinar. I thank our college management, staff coordinators, and student coordinators for making this occasion very special. Thanks for your patience throughout the session. Once again, thank you one and all present here. And please make sure of taking part in the upcoming events and express yourself. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.